Thanks for your time, guys, and welcome to Mexico.
Thank you.
So, I want to start by asking first of all, you guys formed as a band in 2019. So, it seems that this project is pretty casual, it's pretty like chilling, just doing some stuff in the studio. But to me, the proof that this is really solid is what it's in the album. I mean, this is a perfect electronic pop music album. So, taking that as a proof of your great musicians, are you considering to maybe now make this partnership as a long term? And guys, are you think you're musical soulmates?
I think we are musical soulmates.
Yes, we are.
But we've never been like we never had like big commercial ambitious dreams or anything. But I think to us it's very important that we love doing this and we have fun every time we make music.
I think it's also important to stress that you say 2019, but already we have been making music for 10 years together.
Yeah.
This project is the thing. It's the most known or well known, and something that we also brought out together. But before that, we were also jamming, so we were already kind of trying to find our sound. And then this is all the product of, I guess, 10 years of friendship and music makingness. So, which is really nice.
Okay. Now, being around, doing a lot of stuff, of course, prepares you for making Nandakke. So, in this context, how can you describe the album?
In the context of,
being around so long time together, and now putting out this
album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you say?
That's a tough question.
I think what made us quite kind of prepared for this whole thing is what I already stressed out before, is that we've been doing this for a long time, and we felt that there was a switch. Because before Nandakke, indeed in 2019 we released Dansu 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020 we released Dansu, and that was an EP, 5 songs, and then we were like, whoa, people caught this in a way on the radio, and then we also did like a music, how do you say it, tournament, music radio. Tournament, and we also were one of the finalists, and then we were like, whoa, maybe there is a possibility to take things to the next level and to make an album and maybe really explore the sound that we already created with Dansu EP, and then like take the time and to make a long album or an LP, which is Nandakke, and that's kind of the result, I guess.
That's great. Now, guys, I love the name of the album, Nandakke.
Yeah.
That, if I'm not mistaken, it refers to something that is not that explicit. I mean, it could mean something, but not exactly that.
Exactly.
And how can you describe that on your music? How could you apply it?
Yeah, also I think there is not a really specific genre, for example, to kind of say this is the genre that so it's quite fluid. So it's the same as Nandakke. I don't know exactly how to describe our music, and it's something in that direction, but it can also be that direction, so you can explore a lot of things, which is nice. Like and the metaphor of Nandakke really applies to the album, in also music wise, that we just explore so many stuff, and that it's kind of spontaneous also, it's just like, that's a sound that we wanted to explore, and then it's like, ooh, this could be also nice, or no, maybe we go that way, or we go that way, and there's like so many directions actually, but at the end it does fit, like there is a puzzle. It's not only random sounds and all these genres that is completely weird. It's not like that we combine ambient with punk or something, but it's, I think there's a lot of things that we explored, and there's a puzzle now, and it's a whole, which is really nice.
That's great. Now, with all due respect, guys, I think this album to me makes a resume of the history of pop and electronic music, because you can go from house to electro-pop to new wave to synth pop, and even like these sequences in the keyboards from like soul or like funk and all that. So are you agree with this, that this could be like for new generations, this could be like a brief history of electronic music?
That's a compliment, I guess.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that's something that other people should define, and we are not really very consciously about this. But I think it's the same thing. The explanation of Nandakke is maybe the way we use musical influences as well, because we are not soul artists or house artists or techno artists, or we're kind of like eclectic in the music that we listen, and we kind of use those influences, but in our own way. We will always like search for a way to put a little element of that into our song and kind of combine it in a creative way. And I think when the title of Nandakke comes from the fact that all the lyrics are in Japanese, but it's Aili's Japanese from when she left Tokyo when we were 7 years old or something. So it's kind of like a basic version of Japanese, but given the fact that it's basic, you're always creative in finding a way to express yourself.
Exactly, yeah. And that's also what we did with the music, production-wise.
Yeah, that's why it sounds so fresh, right? Because it's the unexpected.
Exactly, yeah. That's kind of what I don't think we're really looking, like intentionally looking for this, but that's the vibe we were in.
That's the way it came out.
Yeah, that's the way.
Now, being doing this shows me that there's a lot of experience. So you got the time, from 2019, being called Aili. You had from 2019 to 2024 to make this album. So how was this process for you, like producing yourselves? Like go back to Belgium and make it on your own, and actually, get all these great sounds from vintage synthesizers. So how tough was to produce everything by yourselves?
I think that's kind of like our normal way of working.
Yeah, we've always done this together with the two of us, so we never questioned actually asking maybe other musicians. Maybe it's something for in the future, but for now I think it's our first album and it's really our project that we also wanted to keep the whole process just for us. Yeah. And as Osson has this beautiful studio with all these synthesizers since like when it all started, when you were 8 years old, he got his first synthesizers.
Wow.
Yeah, from Santa Claus.
That's a long time.
So, so he's been doing this for such a long time, and for me, like, we discovered, or like we kind of got to know each other, and I was like, whoa, it's such a beautiful thing that you have this collection, and also it's really like also the ground floor of our of our album, and the sound that you hear is also really because of the studio that Osson has been collecting, his museum. It's been always just cozy, it's also in your house on the first floor, and you're just like, the
fact that we have our own studio where we can work in makes it really free of any stress. Like a lot of musicians have to pay for a studio, and you pay for 14 days, and it's really expensive, and it has to happen in these days. But we have like a green card to use the studio every time you want.
So which also makes that you don't have the pressure to be creative, because there were also times that we were just like, oh my god, my brain is fried, I'm not into it today, and then we just go for a walk, drink a coffee, and then we just say bye. And that's it, without losing all the money of a day to pay for a studio. So it's really kind of what people say, I made this album in my bedroom, the bedroom pop or something. It's for us actually the same, but then not in a bedroom, but in your house.
That's great.
It used to be in a bedroom, but eventually I took out the beds.
Also,
of course. But in a dream scenario, for putting it in some way, would you be interested to work with other producers like whom? I mean, who you guys admire? Who you think can actually absorb and capture your sound and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, for me, like in Brussels, there are really very cool artists that I also follow, like Le Motel. I don't know if you know.
I heard of them.
Yeah, he's like also really eclectic, and has this works with a lot of organic sounds, which I also feel like for us is like a new chapter we would like to discover. So I think for me, like also staying local in Brussels, you have really cool artists that I would like to work, and of course on like a global level there are for sure producers that you're like, how would that be like? But that's more like not very realistic, I guess, but you never know where it's gonna. But that's and I don't know if you have also examples.
In your case, Arsen?
I think it would also be cool to work with a producer that you don't really know very well, but has a certain strength in songwriting or in sounds or whatever, and we just sit together and be surprised about what's coming out. So in a way it kind of defines a lot. If you say like, I want to work with this producer, you're already thinking about the sounds, but it's cool to leave that open and be surprised.
I don't know, because sometimes you also do this project because of their sound.
Yeah.
So you're also like, I would like this. For me, the example that really works is Yeji, the Korean producer, Korean and American producer. She is also like, in a way, is very dancey, but also there's this club version where she goes, but there's also some pop in it, and I think that we also kind of have this two faces of dance, but also a bit more pop song oriented, and I think that would be cool because she also kind of explores this. For me, that would be also a really nice collaboration. Nice. So
that's nice. Now I want to talk about the tracks in the album. I really do love Fashion. I think that's a great track, guys. You know, it's mysterious, it's elegant, but it's pop and dark yet at the same time. So what can you tell me about this song? Because I really loved it. It totally made me think in these periods, specific periods of David Bowie, even Roxy Music, and even Kraftwerk. So what can you tell about the track?
It's funny because this track did have so many identities. It started with, like, you remember, also alla modo, with the sample of a guy talking about fashion. And we're like, I think this song really, the most layers. The biggest onion we had to peel, I guess. But it's nice that you say, because we wanted to explore after Dansu, which was a really good success. We were like, maybe we should also do something where the bass guitar has kind of like plays a big role. Yeah. And again, the sound of the bass really kind of holds this song in a
Yes.
And every time I feel that we played also live, there's this, I don't know, you feel like there's this vibe, kind of sexy.
I can see myself walking like John Travolta.
Exactly, I think
like
the fashion for us is like you are walking on
like a slow walk through.
Yes.
Yeah, but on a catwalk, but like very feeling sexy. And just like I got my.
That's what I meant when I referred Fame from Bowie. It's kind of the same feeling, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's fun. And I think that was also when we made it. It's like, okay, now we're there, and we just like there's. It took us a while to create this song, but also with the lyrics, and we already had this vibe of trying, because in Japanese you have a lot of ways to tell, like when you put on a shirt or a pants, you have different verbs. Wow. And also to put on a hat or sunglasses. We always say in English, you put on. I don't know how it is in Spanish, but everything you just put it on. Yes. And in Japanese, like depending on your trousers or your t-shirt or your sunglasses, it's always a different verb. So we're just like, we can play with this, you know? And then in that vibe, it all fitted with the fashion, and it's also the playfulness of the lyrics. So yeah, it's nice. Awesome. To get the vibe. Awesome.
And in the other extreme of the shape, we have Up and Down, that I loved it because this is like the perfect sample of pop, but is there a direct reference to the Venga Boys?
No, but it could be actually. I think this song is.
It really started as a joke. It's one of those that really started as a joke.
Really as a joke.
We were like, on the EP we made rather slow songs. What if we push the tempo, and what is the fastest that we can go?
40 or something.
And then we went to 140 BPMs and really made this kind of how do you say the kermis in
kermis, wacht hè, a fair.
Yeah.
Do you say this? A fair? Like, yeah. But also you hear also with the synths that you really we did the disco.
Yes.
There's all these different vibes, and it goes really from one way to another. And it's like in a roller coaster going literally up and down.
It's one of the most fun to play live every time.
Yeah, it's true.
That's great, guys. Now, I want to talk about this is your first time playing in Mexico.
Yeah.
So you got a couple of important dates. You're going to Departamento and you go to Tropic Festival. So how are you feeling about this and what do you expect of all of this? I mean, what you heard about Mexican audiences and all that?
We heard a lot of good things about Mexican audiences. Everybody's like, "Oh, the Mexican audience are crazy. It's the best you'll ever have." So we have very high expectations at this point.
Yes, the same for me.
You nervous, guys?
I don't know, not really.
Mostly excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. But also it's for me this the first time also in Latin America, so I really have no idea. Now we were walking on this. Also by walking, I'm like, whoa, what is this? It's completely new for us. So also it is gonna, that same question mark we will also take, of course, for the audience and for the places that we're gonna play and be like, are they gonna like this? Because it's also in Japanese. I don't know, like, how they're gonna react. But on the other hand, it's nice that it's always a surprise, and that's also the fun thing about touring worldwide. It's just like, you just have no idea.
Okay. Are you surprised, guys, that I mean, we're living in a globalized world and ruled by the internet and the exchange on information. It's every day, every time. But are you surprised, guys, that you're actually getting some radio airplay in Mexico?
Yeah, for sure. We were like, what are we doing in Mexico? How did we get here? Like, we didn't even play in a lot of countries in Europe. We were like, whoa. Yeah. There is. It's always surprising for me to see that even that when you don't sing in English, that there are also other places that are curious for our music.
Yes.
And that's a real compliment for us. We're really happy and grateful that we can do this. So. Thank you to the Mexican audience.
Well, guys, thank you so much and have a great time playing in here and good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Perfect. Thank you so much.